the most profitable trading strategy of all time. We've done the numbers.
I'm all ears.
We've ran the back testing. We redid the back testing. We did it again.
I want to know.
And right here on the paper in front of me, I have the most profitable trading method that exists in the past, the present, and I have to assume the future.
You want me to just stand up and unzip?
That is a lie. There's no one pattern that is the end all be all for everyone. And you rarely even see that with successful traders that have just one pattern. Most of the time they find, one thing at a time, something to grow the account, something to hit your first 6 figures, something to cross $1 million. Maybe there's random patterns a certain year that just start to show up, like China pumps were in 2022. But to say that there is the most profitable strategy of all time doesn't really exist because people are different. The market's constantly changing and we all bring a little extra something to the market that I think is more important than the pattern itself when it comes to even being profitable or not.
For a minute there, I got really excited that
I did the work.
The Holy Grail did exist.
It doesn't.
It doesn't? Well, it kind of makes sense if I relate it to my own trading career. The patterns that I predominantly trade, it comes in seasons, right? The first 3 years that I traded stocks, I think I was a lot of short selling. Pandemic came around 2020 and 2021. And what made me the most amount of money in those 2 years is buying stocks. Really market dependent. And it's not that the short selling patterns didn't work. It's just that they weren't working to their best ability. It wasn't as profitable to just be long bias in a market where everything went up. And then once that kind of died out, it was shift back. And even the same short selling patterns that I used in 2017 to 2019, they're not the same. And it's not my predominant way of making money. And, just because I'm a short seller doesn't mean I'm short selling the same things since, eternity. So yeah, it's not a holy grail.
Why do you think everyone wants that or thinks that there's some other pattern? Because even when we just meet up for Clover meetups and stuff, a lot of the conversation is about new patterns, new ideas. What can we test? What can we look for? Is there a long pattern here? Is there a potential different way to short gappers or short parabolics? You think that that's nonsense to constantly be looking for the Holy Grail, or is it just understanding that it's just another piece of the puzzle that's going to get you further than where you would normally have gone if you didn't implement it?
I might say something that you find stupid.
Do it.
I think if I have to take this conversation deep and emotional, I think people are looking for certainty. So, we're always looking for something to be certain of. And the fact of the matter is there's uncertainty in the craft. We kind of ask for it, but there's uncertainty in the idea of stock trading. And you're never going to be certain. There's never going to be a guarantee. There's never really one answer to solve all problems. But I think human nature is to find that certainty because people...
They want to feel safe.
Yeah.
And you find that in all walks of life, people want safety nets. They want to have a backup plan for the backup plan for the backup plan. And when you're an entrepreneur or a trader and you're running your own business and there's no one else to lean on but you, it is a kind of hard hurdle, I feel like, at the beginning to accept that you're going to make mistakes. If you have big red disastrous days, it's your fault. It's not the market. It's not me or you or an educator who taught them the wrong way, or you followed a trade alert or someone else's plan.
I think it goes even deeper where it's like, you buy the perfect breakout, right? And it fails.
Right on.
And you're like, what did I do wrong? And maybe you didn't do anything wrong.
And maybe you don't know that for another year, what the right answer was. You made a mistake. Was it something you should have been trading? Was there dilution?
Maybe
was there news coming? Maybe it just failed, And that's why I try to look at trading from, when we talk about the most profitable trading method, it's not even the pattern for me. It's the style, like the system of risk management, the system of adding to a position, the system of having a certain risk level. Those are things that are constant that I can control every single time. But do I cut at my risk level or do I cut early? Do I sell at my price target or do I get greedy?
Right.
I think it took me longer than it needed to realize that I have a lot less control in the market than what I think. Like I have more than I think, but also less than I think. I used to do the things you're talking about and really stress over positions of like, should I bet in the trade? Was it this big wick candle? Was it the news that came out a week ago? Was it the share count? What's the reason I failed? What's
all the variables?
And there's so many things I'll never know the answer to. And so I started to get ignorant with it and just accept all that I don't control. The only thing I do control is that I have a risk level based off of the chart of what I've studied, support and resistance, that I cut when it goes under there, or I hold to a certain profit target. And the less variables I bring in, the less I regret. I feel like is a huge thing for people is realizing that your emotional state's the most important thing. And it's so much more than the patterns. Clearly, there's times, like you said, when you want to be long biased, you want to be short biased, and you're a good enough trader, and most people are, I feel like, to realize those moments in time when the market is ripe for certain opportunity. The Holy Grail is, I feel like, a mindset. It's consistency. It's showing up every day doing the same thing for 10 years straight. And do you have the emotional fortitude to do that? Most people don't.
There's not one pattern.
There isn't one. There's patterns that have worked for us. You have your first red days, you have your breakouts.
I like those.
You have first green days.
Those are fun.
You have gap and craps. You have overextended gap ups. There's so many different patterns I feel like that we've traded over the years, even
Parabolics,
panic tip buys,
reversion to the mean,
Chinese pumps. You know, if we look at our stats, Kyle specifically has the most update, or I guess not even up to date, the most dated stat.
Right.
That he has everything. And he'll tell you which one he's made the most money out in every square inch of that information, from average winner, average loser, to profit factor, to win percentage, to the total number, and he'll have one that is the most profitable. But I think it's rewiring your brain, kind of like what you're saying earlier with it's all in your head, is how can you get on track for a long enough period of time to start to see results and to not deviate for things you don't control. Everyone can learn the patterns. The patterns are out there. They're on YouTube for free. They're in mentorship rooms like ours.
I used to say a fourth grader can learn the patterns. It's not the patterns that I would be concerned with the fourth grader. The patterns are just a simple IQ test. You know, if I show you a picture of a butterfly, is it a butterfly? Then yes, that's the pattern. But how do you size in? How do you pick a risk level? How do you stick to your plan? Those are the most important parts. And that's where I think the fourth grader would probably fall off the wagon.
Yeah, those are the most important things that we try to share every single day at Clover, exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Like, we don't just want to give you an alert and say, buy here, sell here. I want to say, this is why I'm risking this level. This is why I'm entering now.
Right.
This is why I'm waiting for the afternoon. The devil's in the detail in trading. It's all in the nuances. And there's so many different ways to skin the cat, because you might want to buy first thing in the morning. I might want to buy the same play later in the afternoon. We might have the same idea for what's going to happen, but the way we go about doing it might ultimately be different.
Maybe I'm in the same entry.
Yeah. And why would it be different, right? Because we have different risk tolerance. We have different risk levels. We have different times a day that we want to be trading.
Time is huge.
That's why having a plan is more important to me than what you're trading. When I work with Jack Kellogg on the side and we go through my numbers and go through my performance metrics and we talk about the week ahead, and the last week we just had, he doesn't say stop trading breakouts or start trading this or trade what I'm trading. He looks at the numbers and tries to help me understand the trends in my own trading, because that's all that matters for me. He can't make me think a different way. He can't give me a different bias. And that's why those are the little things in trading that are so much more important than the pattern you're trading. Not once in the months that we've been working together did we ever talk about the strategy or the plays. It's all about up here. What's going on in the mind? What's going on that week? Why are we making this mistake? What's going on these days? Those details are the things I think most beginners don't want to look at. They want to hide their emotions. They want to not be transparent. They don't want to post every loss that they make on their spreadsheet. It's rare, I feel like, for traders, like when me and you talk and one of us is going through a hard stretch or one of us is doing really well. It's rarely ever like the pattern that we're talking about. It's the little things, the nuances, the not taking trades, the sizing down on the same pattern, the building in a different way. It's all the nuances that are the reason for profitability or not. It's not ever really, it's breakouts, it's first green days, it's first red days.
That's funny you mentioned that, because, you know, I'm predominantly, I like to trade first red days a lot, and Kyle Williams likes to trade a lot of first red days too. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that would say that first red days are no longer existent. There's variations that still work very well. I mean, it's Kyle Williams' most profitable setup. You can't tell me that there isn't. He has the data, he has the evidence. But it's very easy for a month to go by and me be, you know, for instance, trading first red days, like maybe I'm not profitable for a month, and Kyle Williams over there is having like a $50,000 month.
Ever dreamed of trading like one of the Clovers? Well, it all starts with the right broker. Clover Trading and Centerpoint Securities have teamed up to supercharge your trading experience. By joining, unlock the power of CP Edge exclusively with Centerpoint. We're talking top-tier trading tools worth over $6,000, all at your fingertips. Get ahead with real-time scanners, cutting-edge news, and a tailor-made trading journal. Experience trading like never before with superior short inventory, personalized support, and interest on your idle funds. Plus, you can get competitive pricing that fits your trading style. Ready to elevate your trading game? Click the Clover Trading link in the description below to get exclusive deals with Centerpoint Securities. Now let's get back to the content.
And that all is dependent on the trader, right? What plays did I miss? What plays did I improperly size into? Was I undersized? Was I oversized? Did I not respect a risk level? Did it get away from me? Like, again, it's not really the pattern in those circumstances, it's me.
That's the only variable that matters.
Correct.
Because those are the questions that I would ask myself. It's like, how many did I miss? How many did I have not enough size on? How much did I have too much size on? Did I cut my risk early? Did I not stick to a profit target? Did I get too greedy? Did I not get greedy enough? Should I have swung overnight and I didn't? Should I have added here and moved the risk levels up? Those are the questions that are the difference between one person being red and one person being green while looking at the same patterns in the same stocks. And that's the stuff that you don't see enough out there, because that's really the devil in the detail. Those details are the most important thing. And that's why we spend the majority of our time focusing on those numbers in our own trading, and why I post journal posts every night for myself, and why I'm aware of my results. That's why we track now, is because those are the reasons that we're making money or not. It's not because the breakout isn't going far enough or the risk level is too far. Those are things we don't control.
Yeah, track now we do.
Track now we do.
So there's not one holy grail setup.
There is not. Whatever works for you, whatever pattern makes sense. I always tell people, study harder than you ever thought you could in the beginning until something makes sense. When I watched Trading Tickers the first time, there was just something about buying breakouts and the way he did it that my brain picked up on the first time I watched.
Maybe because he made $40,000 and you were
maybe.
Like, oh, that looked fun.
But the short selling stuff, it took me longer to quite understand, why are we risking this on this one, but we're risking here on the other one. For as long as it always made sense to me.
I was the opposite.
Risk, because that was the big hurdle I was fighting in the beginning, was where do I assign risk? I want to stop getting stopped out, and then the stock continues higher, and I want to make sure every time I get stopped out, it goes a lot lower.
Yeah,
and finding that level, and that made sense to me when I watched that. For me, find what works for you. Use it to hit your first hurdles. For us, it was OTCs. You were shorting them. I was buying them. That's how we made our first several hundred K.
We've always been a good team.
Always been, yeah.
So why do you think people are looking for the Holy Grail of trading?
I think in the day and age we live in, people want things to be easy. They don't want to accept the fact that you could continue to struggle. I think it's a common misconception in trading that once you get it, you got it and you're good. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. There are always drawdowns waiting around the corner. There are probably an unprofitable year coming for you at some point. There is giant losses. And I think people want there to be just some result, some pattern, some system where they don't have to continue to put the work and they don't have to do all the things we talked about by putting all their emphasis on the details.
Yeah.
And they want to get lazy. I think we live in a generation of very lazy people that want immediate gratification and want something that's just going to work. That's why the get rich quick idea with trading sells really well, because it's a vision that makes sense and it's one they don't have to struggle, the laptop lifestyle.
Yeah, so it sounds like a perspective type of thing where it's like when you get into trading, like most people don't realize that this is a career that you have to learn, quite like being a doctor, quite like going to school for 4 years. I mean, you probably have to be in this for years and years and years before you're actually going to hit a situation where you're actually learning what the F is going on.
Yep.
And people don't want to spend that much time. You know, they want to spend 3 months and feel like they've done something for 3 months and then the money should be flowing.
You have to be chasing a dream. You have to constantly be working towards something, or else you get stagnant, you get depressed, and you stop feeling like you're living for something. And that's why I think trading is so cool, because we've talked about it, like, you will never be perfect. You will never have it all figured out. You'll never get the Holy Grail, most profitable trading strategy. You're going to go through times when your most profitable trading strategy doesn't work, or isn't working as well, or you have to tweak this or that. And I'd rather go on that journey and learn. And I think people that just want to follow alerts, like, it will get old, it will get boring. You will eventually probably start doing it on your own and making your own decisions, because you want to have fulfillment. You want to feel something in life. Like, if people who buy betting trade alerts, like sports betting, they call them alerts, what do they call it? Picks, people's picks.
People actually do that?
Yeah. And, you know, most people don't make money sports betting, just like most people don't make money trading. But that's the thing. I think people just want the easy answer. But even if the easy answer worked, I think they would end up finding no fulfillment in that, and it wouldn't work in the long run, because eventually they'd probably convince themselves to start doing it on their own, because they would eventually convince themselves that they're doing something right. They would blame the person with the trade alerts if they're wrong. But if they start to make money doing it, following the alerts, they would probably start to feel like they're doing something right, even though nothing has happened.
Take credit for someone else.
And that would probably lead them to start losing money.
Interesting personality trait there. Do you think if Kyle Williams was here, he would say the Holy Grail is Bitcoin?
Possibly.
And do you think he might be right?
I can't comment on that.
Can't just say possibly?
Possibly.
Thank you. Let us know what your thoughts are on the subject of the Holy Grail. Have you found it? Have you not found it? Do you still want to find it? Leave your comments below. We want to read them. We like reading them. That's it from us today. I'm Mike Huddy. That's Dominic Mastro-Mateo. Till next time.